This is an Off the Tongue podcast.
Welcome to a very super duper special episode of the Thegreenergrasspodcast, where we discuss different topics and decide which side of the fence we'd rather be on. Hi, I'm Emily.
I'm Jaci. We're your hosts. It's another video episode.
2 video episodes in a row. You guys are lucky.
What's even happening?
I don't know.
What's even happening?
Yeah.
What's new with you?
Well, we just got back from Sonic Temple Music
Yes.
Festival. If you guys checked out that video, hope you liked it.
Yeah, that was a really fun one.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. So that's what's new. We had a blast. It was my birthday. We saw a bunch of bands that we loved.
Great people watching.
Great people watching.
We thank you to the people that participated in our video.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Hope you're tuning in right now.
Yeah. Hope you're feeling okay today as we're recording, because this was yesterday.
Yeah.
We are fresh off of Temple or Tour.
Fresh. I haven't had much sleep, but we're going to do this because it's an exciting episode.
It is exciting. We have a very special guest coming up.
We do.
So, what's next? We just bring them out?
I guess so. You guys ready?
There's nothing left to do.
All right. We would like to welcome the guys from Taproot to the Greener Grass Podcast. What's up, guys?
Hello.
You guys want to start and introduce yourselves and tell us what instrument you play in the band?
My name is Scissors, and I don't play anything.
Lies and deceit.
I play guitars and vocals.
Nick.
And my name's Steven.
I'm Phil. I am the bass player for Taproot.
All right.
I'm Jared, and I am the drummer, except for when Steve is playing drums, or Dave is playing drums, or Nick is playing drums.
You're occasionally the drummer.
Sometimes
That's right.
But I'm picking up. Okay.
Cool.
He's the best drummer.
So, do you want to tell our listeners what's new and exciting with you guys? What's going on?
Lots of things. Let's see. We have a new album coming out, is the biggest one that we have going on right now. That's September 29th. It's called Scissors, just like our singer's name. And in addition to that, we have a bunch of shows. We haven't played shows in a really long time. I think our last show was 6 years ago, and then this is our first time playing a bunch of shows all in 1 year. And then what else we got going on? We have Best of Besides that just came out, which is this big collection. Yeah, there you go. This big collection that Jared put together. Yeah.
I got the plug right here.
That we crunched down to 18 of the best of, well, actually 16 of best of that, and then 2 extra ones. That's generally, but the biggest thing is that we're actually doing stuff this year.
Yeah, cool.
We haven't done anything really in a long time. It's our first album since 2012, and the first time Jared's gonna be playing a whole bunch of shows with us, and it's pretty much back.
Yay. That's awesome. Well, we heard you guys are playing the Blue Ridge Festival coming up, right?
Yep, that's the one that started it all.
Yeah.
Can confirm.
Yeah. So like we said, we just came from Sonic Temple Music Festival, and we did an episode there actually, and we asked our listeners, would you rather go to a festival or a touring show? We want to ask you guys, would you rather play a festival or a headlining tour?
Yeah.
For me, depends, right? The reason why we chose Blue Ridge Rock Festival for the first show was, one, it was a good offer, a lot of cool bands on there, but not having played shows in a long time and not knowing what the response was going to be, it seemed to be the best way to kind of get our feet wet again without having to have the pressure of headlining and, generally a shorter set, because headlining, you got to play more songs. So shorter set and just kind of get out there and really have no pressure other than just come out there, play and leave,
Yeah, right.
So that's the pro for doing the festival. But as far as overall, I mean, festivals are fun, but I prefer doing headliners because that's where, our fans are at, and our friends tend to come to those ones more, and we just get to see all the people that love us for what we do.
Right. That's very humble of you to say, like, you don't know what to expect. Like, seriously? I'm there.
We've seen.
Well, so it's weird. It's sort of this, you know, I feel like we can get caught up in this echo chamber of our fans, because, like, you know, we have guys like, you know, fans like you guys that obviously, you know, been loving us and talking to us this entire time, and we have this small collection of fans that are there all the time, you know, that we talk to, we consider friends.
Right.
But that can make, you know, on the one hand, you can go, that just makes us feel like, you know, oh my God, all these people love us all the time, but we know that's not true, right? We've had these ups and downs in our career. So, you know, it doesn't really give a true indication of what's going on, especially when you look at, you know, even views on YouTube and stuff, people that, you know, our biggest views, our biggest songs were back when YouTube was first starting, if that. If you do, I don't think YouTube was even out. We're not that big on Spotify. We're not that big on anything. We've just been around a long time and have put out 6 albums or so, and now number 7. And yeah, it was, you know, and we haven't done anything. We haven't had an album in 10 years. So I had no idea what this was going to look like, which is, again, is why we only did the one show. And then when Steve said he was going to do the record this year, is that telling me to speak louder? Is that what that
No,
is?
just the one. Just the
Oh,
one.
just the one show. Okay. I was like, am I not talking loud enough?
Louder.
Yeah, so just the one turned into 18. Yeah, it was, so because the response has been great, and we're really excited to be out there.
Yeah, I'm just nervous. Like, am I supposed to jump out in the crowd and mosh with our fans' grandkids, or just stay on stage?
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
The answer is yes.
You
So what
said
would you prefer? Would you rather play a festival or a headlining tour?
me?
Yeah.
Depends on the festival. I mean, holy fuck. There's a lot of bands at Blue Ridge that are sweet that I'd love to see, and then there's a lot of bands that I consider poopier than us. But we play one day, and I think it's a good day. I mean, when was the last time we played with Megadeth?
Right.
What
That's
about
pretty
you,
cool.
Jared? What do you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, Phil summed it up pretty well. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say headlining, because it's a longer set and it's a longer demonstration of kind of what we can do. We get to play a wider range of songs, but there's also a lot of advantages. I think if you're going to want to try to reach a new audience, we would always go into shows, even when we were playing with, you know, Deftones or Incubus or on Ozfest, that we would go out, and it was our mission to win over those fans that are there that maybe hadn't heard of us. We even did a couple one-off shows where it was just us and Marilyn Manson, where we opened for him and the band. And I remember when we were in Montreal, about halfway through the set, the crowd started going, Manson, Manson, Manson. And I remember Steve
That feels
saying,
good.
That feels
yeah.
good.
And Steve kind of quickly calmed him down and said, hey, we know you're here to see Manson. We appreciate that. Just give us kind of the rest of the time here, and hopefully you'll like a couple of the things that we do. And then ultimately, a lot of their fans came up and said, we hate everybody that opens for Manson, but you guys were pretty okay. So that's the advantage of playing with some other people's fan base, is that hopefully you can get more exposure and win some people over.
Yeah,
I think
no,
the mistake with the Manson show, though, I think that was kind of funny looking back, was when we had the Eyes Wide Shut intro, which could be something that Manson would do it for a pre-show. You know what I mean? So it's almost like this Manson's probably coming on next, and here we come out, and it's like, what?
No, I agree with Jared on some part. I like doing the festival shows, trying to win people over. I mean, that's cool. Obviously, when we're headlining, we'll have our set fans, a couple grandkids that come out because their uncles told them about us. But playing festivals, I think there's obviously a ton of people that haven't heard us and maybe have heard of us but not know us. But it's kind of like, well, let's just go shove our dick down their throat.
I mean, that's what they're there for.
No, I mean,
Nice.
we discovered some new bands this weekend that we've never heard
That's
of.
cool.
So I get that. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so we played Rock on the Range back in, I
Yeah.
want to say 2011, 10, 12,
10.
13, somewhere, 10. Okay, 2010.
Yeah.
I was
And
there
that was
too.
one of those ones that for me, I got really excited because Steve did a fantastic job winning over that crowd. I thought you did fantastic. We have pictures to prove it, whether you believe it or not.
Thank
No, it was great, man. You did great. And you weren't as awkward as you are now. And you were
Me.
Somebody's taking
No,
our-
you did great. You did great.
Thank you.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Limp Biscuit was there, so I had to be on my A game.
There
Oh,
you go.
God, you gotta watch out. Fred, is that you
Is
playing?
that you? Come on out. No. All right. Well,
So-
the Greener Grass podcast, we do our would you rather topics, and we picked a good one for you guys. So we want to know, would you rather drum or strum? So we want to know the pros and cons for playing drums or playing guitar or bass.
So we figured we would start with drums. So let's discuss. Jared, you want to kick us off as the drummer?
Okay. So
What are
yes,
the pros for drumming?
Couple pros for drums.
the pros for drums, I would say. So for the first time I heard Metallica, it was the first time that I knew I had heard something that I wanted to pursue, and that was drums. And I've said this before. I think I said I knew within the first 30 seconds of listening to Injustice for All I wanted to play drums. And then I think we did this on our podcast or our Taproot Tuesdays. And I think Phil may have said, but aren't there no drums in the beginning of Metallica and Justice for All? And Phil said, you must have thought this song could use drums. I think what's great about that album and drums in particular is it was the first thing that stood out to me. And I don't know if that's typical of a lot of people, but it just stood out to me as like, this is what to me the base of the song is. And you know, a lot of times it's been said that the drums are kind of the heartbeat of the band, and that you can't have a great band without a great drummer. You might be able to kind of circle that through some of the other instruments, but you know, certainly probably because I heard Metallica, wanted to play drums, started playing drums, taught myself drums. It's certainly my favorite instrument. I feel that it's a great release. It's a very physical instrument. I noodled around a little bit with acoustic guitar. I can't imagine how you could get all of the energy out in terms of a release by playing guitar compared to playing the drums, because it is so physical and exerting. And yeah, I just think, and I also feel that when we were touring with a lot of bands, for whatever reason, a lot of times the drummers from other bands were the first people that we would meet.
Yeah.
So I always say that drummers are the social ambassadors of bands for whatever reason. I think maybe it's because we have to kind of sit behind the crowd anyway. So we may just be secure with our place kind of in the back of the band, and we don't have to have this ego. So we're just going to go and meet people and kind of hang out and be friendly. So I think those are the things that I like about drums and other drummers.
Well, it's definitely exerting. We can speak to that as we were drumming
Air drumming.
before this started, and
I was like, man,
thought we were gonna have to push back the recording while we caught our breath. So it's definitely tough. So
Yeah.
okay, who else wants to go? What's some pros? drumming?
So I just started playing drums about maybe 4 to 6 months ago now.
Nice.
Having always, yeah, right. What's funny is it's one of those instruments that I've always been around, having, you know, lived with Jared and, you know, been in this band for 20 some odd years, and obviously been on tour and all that stuff. And Steve could always play, Jared could always play, everyone else around, if they played drums, they could just kind of play. And I sat down at drums once and I was like, this ain't for me. You know, I just like, it's like I couldn't do it immediately, right? I couldn't do anything immediately. And then my kid got a drum set from his papa that we had to have at the house. And so now I can kind of do it at my leisure. And it took me 4 minutes to kind of play a straight beat. Not great, but just kind of play something, like separate the hands and the feet.
4 minutes? Are you saying that like that's a long time?
No, that's
yeah.
a short time. No, I mean,
Okay.
that's pretty quick.
so no,
Like,
it was a
out.
short. So like, what surprised me was how like I held myself back for so long because I couldn't do it within 1 minute, say for instance, right? Like, you know, and it didn't take much longer than that to kind of start separating the hands and the feet a little bit, right? Just a little bit. By no means, I'm awful, right? But
I wasn't gonna say.
it took me that little bit of time of just a little bit of focus to get to a point where I'm like, wow, I can actually maybe do this, right? And I was just like, for me, it was one of those things that I had such a mental block about it because I'd been around such great drummers that I was just like, maybe I can do this too. So I've been playing almost every day since. And it's, you know, like you said, the full body workout is amazing. I love it. Like it's, I was telling Jared this a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, I don't know, it's hard to say. But you know, when I had my Fitbit on, I was playing drums and I was just trying to do a real simple something, right? Nothing crazy, nothing even physically taxing. And my heart rate was up at like the 130, 140 range, just from the mental side of it, from trying to concentrate of making the feet and hands do this thing that wasn't quite natural to me. And so that alone, I mean, like I was just like really impressed with, I can't imagine once you really get good at this instrument, how much of your mental capacity it's taking to really separate all that stuff. And what I love about it is just that, because I'll just put on some music and I'll just play along, right? Whether I'm playing the right things or not, I'm playing, pretty close. And just simple pop stuff. Yeah, Dua Lipa is one of my favorites. Just kind of, pretty straight and stuff to just kind of play along to and rock out to. But it's just, you just get in this like flow state that you have to be in the moment. Otherwise you screw up. Like if you start thinking about something else, you're messing something up. Even if you start thinking about like, what's my kick drum doing? It's all of a sudden something goes awry. Like as soon as you start thinking about it too much, you start messing up, at least for me.
Yeah.
So I love that challenging aspect of it. And then also that way of just getting in that moment of just like being able to just feel it and just stay there. It's one of my favorite things about it.
Nice.
Like Jared said, it's a full body workout. It is a stress reliever. It just gets all of that out when you just have that time to just play for like a good hour or two or just have fun. Yeah.
What about you, Steven?
It's crazy. This band's full of drummers. Fuck guitar and singing. Jesus Christ. I got a drum kit when I was like 4 or 5 as a Christmas gift from my mom, and I was the kid that woke up at like 4 or 5 in the morning ready to go. And I walked out the bedroom and there was a sheet over the drum kit. I thought it was a goddamn fucking monster. I started screaming like a bitch. So, opened it up. My mom noticed when I was young, I wasn't doing like air drumming or just pretending what I heard. She noticed that I was already doing the cadence, the difference between the hands and the foot. She noticed I was hitting the snare with my left and hi-hat and stuff with my right. Probably pretty terrible, but realized that I was kind of doing the right idea. So she got me a drum kit right away. So I started very early. And that was just natural to me. I mean, I was playing bars illegally at like 14, 15. So that was always my gig. And then Jared jumped on board and he's fucking amazing. So I never got to play a drum kit for like 20 years. So I lost all my skills. But
just imagine what he was like before.
Yeah. Oh no. I was like Joey from Slipknot like 10 years before Slipknot.
Steve was in a metal band called Throw, and I had their tape when I got to college, and it was amazingly impressive drumming back in the day. And you'll hear more of this, but Steve played all the drums on the new record, and it's just incredible, great stuff. I'm having to learn, and it's going to make me a better drummer when I learn all the stuff that he's done on this record because he's fantastic.
Well, the
thanks,
single
Jay.
is incredible. I've been very much enjoying that, so I can't wait for the whole album to come.
Yeah, very excited. Well, there are some cons to playing drums, right? So we want to hear what's bad about playing drums. What's some cons?
They're so big.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
No, she did not say that ever.
Sorry.
That's the biggest problem is that they're big and they're loud and they're expensive. But I guess you could probably spend a lot of money on gear too. I guess
He says about me, my husband. He's always like, she's so loud and expensive.
and big.
Hey now.
She's not big.
Well, no.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah. Just there. Yeah, that's the main thing. Drums are not portable and they're loud. And if you really want to play them in the fun way, you've got to hit them hard and you got to hit them loud. And that I believe that over my many years of drumming, it turns out that a lot of people, if they are against drummers or they dislike drums, it's usually because drummers are very loud, and a lot of drummers have this philosophy where they think, well, I'm going to play what I'm going to play as loud as I want to play in the tempo I want to play, and everyone's going to follow me. But at least in the more mature I've become in playing drums, I now see myself as more of an accompanist, especially like if I'm playing in a quieter setting where people still need to have conversations where you're playing or whatever. So I've learned how to sit back a lot more and try to be, more of the glue and kind of follow along what the guitarist or the bass player or the singer are doing. So
Well,
those are the cons.
that's also the crazy shit too, is like Jared was saying, kind of in the background, even though I'm a drummer and I was not a dick to anybody. I'd always help, carry gear in and shit. But I remember when I was the drummer, and probably at some point when Jared was the drummer, like everyone would kind of be like, oh, what's going on? And the drummers are always the assholes that get stuck taking all the heavy shit in. So at one point, Jared was like carrying shit, and we're all just like, oh, I gotta go find my wallet or some
Oh,
shit.
I'm on the phone. I got an important phone call right now.
I gotta go meet with these fans. I'll be right back.
Right. Yeah.
They're gonna have a podcast someday. This is important.
Yep. So,
Yeah, I'll add to that. Banged up knuckles. I've seen Jared bleed on our drums many a times and still having to play. Like that just seems awful. Like I can't imagine. And then the other one I had was dropped and or broken sticks. Like when I drop a stick, everything stops. It's just like, the whole world falls apart. But Jared's dropped sticks and you don't even notice. It just boom, another one right at, that obviously comes from years of experience, but that just seems like a pain in the butt though. Like I don't like it.
have you guys seen the most recent video? Like a post that might be fucking 40 years old at this point, but when Tool's drummer broke his snare and he kept playing the entire beats on like his toms and shit while his roadie changed
I saw that.
his snare.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was
No, I
fucking
didn't see that.
sweet. It's
They're
awesome.
really good live. We just saw them.
We just
this
saw Tool, yeah.
weekend.
They're
They
awesome.
put on a pretty good live show.
Yeah.
Who else was at the Sonic thing that you went to that you enjoyed, or is that for another section of the podcast?
No, we can talk about
All
that.
I saw Foo Fighters.
Fighters was awesome.
Yeah.
It was very
Nice.
emotional
Yeah.
with Taylor
Yeah.
and everything. So we were tearing up.
Avenged Sevenfold was there for her birthday. Pretty sure specifically for her birthday,
played
which
just
was
for me.
Friday.
Happy
And
Nice.
honestly,
birthday.
that he's my favorite drummer, so I miss
Happy
him.
belated.
No offense.
Wait,
Second-
who's your favorite drummer?
The Rev.
Jared.
Jared.
No, seriously.
I said the Rev from
What'd you say before that? What'd you actually say?
the
What's his
Rev
name?
from Avenged Sevenfold.
That's not the dead guy?
Yeah,
It is the dead guy.
Oh.
The new guy is Brooks Wackerman.
He's good too, but the Rev
Oh, he's great.
was my
Yeah.
favorite.
He played on the Pressure 4-5 record.
Oh, really?
Yep.
We saw
Nice.
a really interesting band called Bloodywood. They're from India, like an Indian metal band. Check them
Yeah.
out. They're very
It's
cool.
very interesting.
And
Yeah.
then
Native
the
American.
other band, Pussifer, was there, and they were crazy.
Yeah.
But really cool.
Deftones was there and they were phenomenal. The last time I saw them, they weren't so great. I saw them with
Me too.
Gojira.
I left early last time.
Yeah, it was.
Chino sounded amazing. They
Yeah,
were
but
really good.
Yeah, he was incredible last
Yeah,
night.
he looked good. I saw pictures of him. He looked
Yeah.
good.
Like as soon as he got on stage, he like jumped into the crowd and like cut his neck. And
Yes,
it's
he's,
just
like,
like
bleeding.
playing like it's like
That's what that
bleeding.
Band-Aid was.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was good.
Yeah.
Kiss was there, which
Yeah,
is crazy.
that was pretty
They're like
cool.
in their 70s still
Yeah.
rocking. Like, it's crazy.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
It was good.
It's a good time.
It was good.
It was a good time. We saw some up and comers. We saw Point North. We actually saw Point North in Michigan, right?
Yeah, we went to
Michigan?
Detroit.
Yeah.
They opened for our Day to Remember. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you get to check out Nothing More?
you did.
Well,
missed that.
no, we didn't go in for them. I
Oh.
could hear them
Ah.
from our campsite.
They're so good.
It
They're
was
my
early
favorite
and
right
we were
now.
like tugging
Yeah.
and stuff.
Gotcha.
They're good though. We've seen
I
them
saw.
before.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
A lot over there, but
Mhm.
yeah.
So was it set up in a way where were there a lot of points where among the big bands you had to choose who you're going to go see, or was it spaced out pretty well?
Yeah. I mean, a few times there was choices to be made.
A couple
Yeah, yeah.
overlapped, but mostly like the main headliners were
Yeah.
always we could see them. So
Like we had to choose between Converge and Chevelle, and we all chose Converge because we hadn't seen them live before, and they were
Good call.
amazing. They were
Nice.
so good. They were really, really good live.
yeah, they were good.
So
Have you guys seen the new Metallica stage?
no, not the stage.
It's fucking nuts. I feel bad for Lars, but it's sweet.
Cool.
It's a gigantic circle. It reminds me of when I was 12, maybe I went to a Def Leppard show with passes because my fucking idiot crazy dad knew the band's masseuse. And he's dying, by the way, which is cool. Jared?
Sorry.
Nothing. All right. But they had it was like a hex. It was like an octagon, Phil would say, like a stage in the middle of the arena.
Yeah.
So they got to walk around. But Metallica's new one is the same idea, but it's just a long circle in the middle of the arena. But
wow.
Lars is stuck in one position while the other guys are walking around.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. There's like 18 mics that James can go sing, stop, jam, walk around. Kirk Hammett walks around and plays a couple decent solos.
Yeah. Nice.
Cool. Well, should we move on to Strum? We didn't
Yeah.
really tell our pros for
Yeah.
drum.
Well, one of my pros is if you're in Def Leppard, you can do it with one arm.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
That's true. That's true.
back to the drummers, and then one of the strummers is dead too.
Yeah, that's true.
R.I.P.
We did an episode on them.
Save it for the
Really?
comments. Yeah, we just
And-
did a Cheap Trick or Def Leppard episode.
Deaf or cheap.
Yeah.
For
Wait,
Def.
is the dead guy Steve or the guy Phil Collins?
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, I thought so.
yeah, Phil
And the other
Collins is still
guitar-
around. He's ripped.
Yeah.
And his name is Phil Collin.
No.
Yeah.
He's almost,
Oh, really?
almost as good. Yeah, almost as good. Not quite. Back to
Not-
the drummer part.
Yeah.
So
And I think you guys said my pro for drum was like therapeutic, getting your energy out.
yeah,
And then my con was you're in the back.
yeah.
You're not-
Emily
you're not
loves
seen.
to beat it.
I do. Drummers are my favorite. I'm just going to put that out there. Not to give it away
Spoiler
what I'm
alert.
going to pick, but I love it. I love drums. I just think they're so cool.
Do you play?
You know, I tried. I took some lessons for a little bit. I was okay, but not great.
So you never owned a kit?
My ex-husband did.
Okay.
I played on that.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But yeah. So,
Jackie, what about your daughter? You said your daughter plays drums and guitar.
Yeah,
Does
she's
she have a drum set?
right, she does. She has an electronic drum set, but the kind that like actually sound like drums, not like a digital.
It's
I
like
don't-
Plead the Fifth
Yes.
that I did not play much on.
I've heard of that album.
all right, so let's move on to Strum. Let's do some pros for guitar. Who wants to start?
I'll
Bueller?
start.
Okay.
Phil.
Do it.
It's easier to travel with, for one thing, right? Like, I mean, especially acoustic. Like, I play mainly acoustic, so that's where my head is at, right? So you can sing along to it. You can't really sing along to drums. I mean, you can, but not quite the same thing. And then my biggest pro for playing guitar is power ballads.
Nice.
Mhm.
You know, those like 90s late night commercials where they're like,
Exactly, all those things. I just
Power
learned.
ballad,
Yeah.
yes.
I
Love
just
it.
learned Mr. Biggs to be with you. I even got the solo mostly down, and
love
it's
that
so
song.
good, so good, so good.
Yes.
okay. What else?
Next,
Next.
For me with strings was cool. I taught myself at 13-ish to Alice in Chains Dirt.
Oh,
And that's why one of our new songs called Favorite Song is literally, I couldn't sing half of that record lyrically. I kind of know obviously the melodies and shit, but harmonies.
You don't even know the lyrics to your favorite song.
Right. And so that's why the new song Favorite Song is my favorite song, because I probably don't even know the lyrics to that when we play it. But guitar was special because drums was natural. Guitar I taught myself. So for me that was first. And then I started writing, I got stuck singing for Taproot. We were just a drum machine. I mean, Taproot, I used to
I feel
be
so bad for you.
well, no, I was actually Taproot's original drummer when we had a different version of the band, and then it's obviously easier to find drummers, which we went with a drum machine. So I fucked that show up, and then Jared killed it and joined in. But where the fuck was I going with that? No fucking clue. No, but playing guitar, it was like kind of cool. It is still cool to me because a lot of people don't realize that when I write riffs, like my right hand is like a drummer, and a lot of people don't get that. Like even Dominic from Pulse Ultra, one of the best guitarists I've ever met in my life, couldn't even figure out a song, even though our old guitarist could, which was crazy because he'd watch me all the time. But it's kind of, to me, it's cool because a lot of the heavier riffs that you hear are different than most. Like, it's Taproot, not just because of my annoying voice, but there's a different kind of riffs. And I write, like, I wish a piano would be the other way. I could play piano if the low keys were on the right and the high keys were on the left, because who the fuck needs the high keys on the left? Or high keys. I'd be jamming on the right hand if the lows were on the right. So, like, I just love rhythm naturally as a drummer. And I think that comes through in a lot of the riffs. Obviously, I think the new song is kind of, people were doubtful that new stuff would sound similar, and it's just a natural Taproot sound. And a lot of people haven't heard Plead the Fifth, but that stands out too. Like, a lot of people don't realize that Episodes was written before Our Long Road Home, but not released until after it. So kind of like there hasn't been much guitar contributions since 2007.
Right. Okay, that's cool. And just, your voice is not annoying, P.S.
At all.
We were just listening to Taproot, my boyfriend and I, on the way home from a graduation party, and he's like, no one sounds like him, like nobody. Like, you're so recognizable. Your whole sound, not just your voice. Like, Taproot is just so recognizable. You're just, so just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, that's interesting what Steve said about his right hand, because that's what I've been noticing as I'm learning these new songs, is that you really got to pay attention to that as well, right? It's not just the nose sweeping play. It's like what's that rhythm he's doing, because he does that a little different than you would expect as a, it is a drummer mentality.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm a lefty when I'm not playing guitar.
Oh,
Interesting.
that is interesting.
So Steve, I think Dave Grohl has said that he thinks of the guitar in a similar way. Have you heard him say that he thinks of it as a percussion instrument and he plays it like a drummer would play it?
I haven't heard him say that, but I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing.
So you're
sure.
saying Dave Grohl wants to be like Steve. That makes sense. That tracks.
They're just kindred spirits.
He's done well.
He's done all right. He picked up the
All
pieces.
right.
Done well.
So here's what I want to say about the positives of guitar. I'd say if you want to have the ability to influence the sound of a band with your own stamp and therefore probably become famous, if you want to be like a famous musician, I think that you have a better shot doing that if you're a guitar player, because I think you're out front. And also, as I think about, I had a list, let's see if I can get through them. I would say that it's much more likely that the guitarist of a large band is going to be known by name than the drummer of a large band, and that they've had more of an influence on the sound. So I think about U2, that's a band that I think more people probably know the guitarist than the drummer. Pink Floyd, Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith,
Pantera.
Rolling Stones. Who'd you say?
Pantera.
Okay, Pantera. Smashing
All of them,
Pumpkins.
pretty much all of them, Jared. You just say all of them.
Just list all of the bands.
All the
We've got
bands.
time. We've got time. We paid for unlimited. Go on.
Oh, thank you. All right, very good.
Yeah, name the ones that the drummer is more popular than the guitarist.
Rush.
Genesis.
So
Metallica.
that's it, right?
Yeah, Genesis.
I think more people probably know
Yeah.
Metallica's drummer than their guitarist.
That's yeah, that might track that.
Fair,
I
yeah.
may steal a phrase I just heard on this that I've never used before.
That tracks. That tracks.
How about
Please.
Chili Peppers?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Blue Man Group.
Stomp. That's a nothing but.
Slipknot, they're all drums.
That's true.
Okay. Well, what's some bad things about playing guitar?
Not everybody all at once.
Nothing.
I'll add one thing on my con, and that's just there's so many choices. You want to collect a whole bunch of things. I've got a decently large collection of basses and already a good amount of guitars, and that's to me the only con is this. There's too many things that you want.
Too many bases to slap.
Too many bases to slap. Like in this room alone, I can look at. I've got 1, 2, 3. I think I've got 4, and then 1 guitar, and that's just in the what I play on a semi-regular basis just for fun.
Line of sight.
Yeah, that's line. Yeah. That's not my collection. This is just what's out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lots of toys.
What
I
else?
mean, I love writing the guitar. It was fucking sweet. But then after some other people started writing stuff, I got stuck playing guitar and singing. And there's a reason I got stuck singing and playing guitar. Some material wasn't really fulfilled and awesome. So I got stuck playing guitar and singing. That was never a goal. I know I suck at singing. I got better. I'm still getting there. But I don't know. There's a reason I never wanted to play guitar and sing at the same time. And after the record 1, it's been nonstop.
So what would be the con for guitar then? Are you saying that it takes a lot to kind of fill in the sound the way that you might hear it, and sometimes it takes multiple iterations to fill that out?
Yeah, or you share the playing of it and realize that it sucks so bad that you get forced stuck playing over the top of it to make a song while singing.
Would that, do you think that would still be the case if you had your ideal choice guitarist?
Well, no,
Hey, my daughter joined the band.
Is this a maybe I'm drinking too much? Maybe this is a topic we shouldn't get into.
oh shit. Cheers.
Bottoms up, bottoms up.
Another con for guitar that I was thinking about as we're talking is it's one of those instruments that you can't really just start playing. Like I said, with drums, in about 4 minutes I can kind of play a beat. With bass, anybody can play that within seconds.
That's not true.
Yeah. What you can start, no, you can start making noise on it, right? You can literally start.
You can
making,
follow the notes, but no, well, I'm
no, but
sure.
with any instrument, there's this. With any instrument, there's this infinite degree that you can get better, right? But as far as just starting from go, right? Drums is hard because it's separating the hands and the feet, but as far as making a noise, it's pretty quick. But as far as with guitar, when you try to play chords, because your fingers are so soft when you first start playing, especially try to play it acoustic, but really they're just so soft, you really can't do a lot of the things that you want to do, even if you had the strength and dexterity, because you have these little marshmallows on the ends of your fingers, and you have to build the calluses before you can do anything. Like even just playing like, and even as you've been playing, like I've been playing for a while now, there are certain chords I'm trying to learn now on some of the stuff I play that like it just doesn't sound good because I've never built a callus in that particular spot that my finger is hitting, right? Like there's this one chord, one of my buddies is like this jazz guy, like, yeah, it's just like this. And I'm trying to do it. I'm like, it sounds like crap because it just like I'm pushing, but it just doesn't, it's too soft right there. And after enough time, I will develop that callus. But that's the thing with guitars, like you have to build up, like you literally don't really have the tools at the beginning to even sound good. So anyone I've taught guitar, I just tell them, listen, just play 5 minutes a day, build up these calluses over a month before you even really think about trying to sound good. And then you can start doing stuff, but you have to have some sort of, that callus padding on your fingers to really get there.
Yeah.
Another bad thing about playing guitar is when you're a drummer growing up and then you get stuck playing guitar and singing, you have to like modify your tuning just so it's easier, at least for me. And then people ask me what my tuning is. I made my own shit up. I don't even know what letters my tuning is. Like I play and do what I do. I don't know anything technically.
You're just showing ahead of your guitar. It's this
Right here.
This.
Not really. No, it's just like, God, here's what I'm playing. What notes are those? I don't fucking know. I just play music, man. I'm not self-taught. I mean, I am self-taught. I don't know anything. Like even Taylor, which is going to be fucking awesome, our new guitarist.
Yeah.
He knows everything about gear and intonation and pedals and effects. And I'm just like,
very talented from what I've
give
seen
me,
so far.
Give me a clean, give me a mid, give me a heavy. Fuck off. I'm just playing.
Yeah, Phil, this was kind of adding to like what you were saying. I think in order to get to where you can be decent enough to jam with other people, I think that can happen a lot quicker with drums than it can with guitar. Because with drums, I feel like as long as you've got a bass skill and you can play a couple beats, you can get in a room and you can start playing with other people as a drummer. But with guitar, there's probably 2 or 3 times in my life where I went down the road and say, okay, I'm going to learn to play guitar. And I took a couple lessons. Now this is years ago. But yeah, to your point, it would get to that point where I wasn't, my finger would start hurting and I was trying to push through the calluses and then I got sidetracked, or when usually came to when, okay, yeah, you get through the E, C, G, D, those are pretty easy. But then when you have to learn bar chords with the B or the F, and then that hurts your finger. And if you don't push through that, or you don't push through the scales, then all of a sudden you're kind of limited by only being able to play, 4 chords, and there's only so much you can do with that. So it really limits your ability to be versatile and play a bunch of different songs with people, unless you kind of push through that, like you were saying. So I think there's a lot more. I mean, yeah, like you said, you could go deep and infinite with as technical as you can go with any instrument. But I I think you can just give a base level of playing ability with other people with drums faster than guitar. Would you agree
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah, and even what you're saying, like, I mean, I've been playing guitar for 20 some odd years now, and there's still even the side of my finger. I don't play. I play bass when I play guitar. I don't do a lot of bar chords. So that spot right here is still kind of soft. So when I do an F, sometimes that like fourth string or third string, whatever they want to call it, just doesn't quite ring out the same because I don't have the callus here to really hold that down, unless I really, focus on it and just really push down. But sometimes it just doesn't ring, and it's fine, but I get away with it, but it's not, I know it's not clean.
So if it doesn't ring, that's because it's not pressed down far enough. So you just end up muting it.
Yeah, just kind of
laying on it. Yeah.
Because it has to be harder. You have to have that callus here to push all those strings down. Because it's one of those chords. They say it's a hard chord. It's not really hard to get to that position. It's just hard because you don't have the callus there. Once you have the callus, it's easy. Like playing a chord, like when you play a chord, it's easy when you have the callus. But if you don't have the callus, then you're pushing hard. Like now, I barely push down. You really don't have to push down hard at all once you have the calluses.
I'm so out of the game. I've never once heard of a B chord in my life.
Okay.
What the fuck's a B chord?
The B would be let's see, well, basically like the same thing like a power chord, except on the second fret of the fifth string, whatever way you count the strings. Second from lowest string.
Yeah, I remember whenever Steve and Mike would be communicating about songs and say, okay, yeah, you do a Fear Factory on the 3, and then you do a Deftones on the 4, whatever.
Yeah. They do the corn chord, right? Yeah, hilarious.
The corn chord.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Also, like spreading your fingers looks hard. Like I've tried to play guitar and my fingers just don't stretch that way. It's so.
Yeah, it takes time to. That's another one. The finger stretch that takes time to kind of get your fingers doing those things, And you watch a guy like Eddie Van Halen play, his fingers, like his stretch is. Steve's got a crazy stretch on his fingers too. He can do some weird things with the pinky, and it just does. I don't know. Your hands adapt to play in whatever way you decide to push it. It's crazy.
Okay.
I would think just being in front would be a con. Like I think about like John Deacon, who played bass for Queen, and how shy he was, and just especially in a band like Queen where the rest of the band is so flamboyant and out there, and he's just like
I think it's a pro and a con.
Yeah.
Wait, who was flamboyant?
Freddie Mercury. Have you heard?
Queen.
Have you heard?
I thought you meant of the Stone Age, not.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Just Queen. Not of the Stone Age. Saw them this weekend too, and they were pretty good. Yeah.
Wait,
they were there?
Who
Yeah,
was the bassist from Queen?
John Deacon.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, he's more famous than the rest of the guys, right? Right, just like we were talking earlier with the drummers and the guitarists, right? John Deacon's the most.
I didn't know that name. Isn't that crazy?
What's funny is he was so shy that on the first couple of albums, he was credited as Deacon John, like he was like a monk and he was quiet. And he was like, guys, that kind of hurts my feelings. Don't do that. And so they quit doing that. Anyway.
That's funny. All right. Well, when it's all said and done, though, we have to pick one or the other. So would you rather drum or strum?
Drum.
Yeah!
After
I'm so surprised.
after the Taproot Tuesday, I kind of suspected that we were gonna have a house of drummers.
I picked drum too.
Then I have to be the contrarian, and I'm gonna say guitar because
I knew it.
I mean, I just feel like I could be out there and I could really just own that crowd. Just let me up. Just let me up. I'll just like it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Have you ever tried? Do you play? Have you tried playing?
I mean,
I'll bring you straight up on stage at Machine Shop.
My
You know
God.
that.
I mean, I used to play on my dad's guitars just like for shits and giggles when I was a kid. I am no good. I'm trash. Just so you know.
We'll just turn you up louder. We'll be
No,
great.
it's fine. Like I'll just sing and dance. It'll be fine, and no one will listen to the guitar. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one hears guitar. No one ever hears guitar.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. That
Perfect.
sounds
You'll be
great.
fine.
That'd
I
be
can't
great.
wait. We'll do it in Michigan. I'll be there.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Well, it wouldn't be the Greener Grass podcast if we didn't give you a surprise. Would you rather? because this is what we do at the end of our show. So
Yeah.
Anal.
are you ready for our prize?
Yeah.
Okay.
So picture this. Picture this. It's Ozfest 2001. Head to toe, all white. You remember, right?
You remember your white outfits
So-
looking sharp.
All white. Every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man.
Yeah.
All white.
So you're up there. Tons of people are watching you. And your pants split. Taproots fall out. For the
What
whole
pulls
world.
out? What the fuck? What pull?
Your taproots fall out of your pants.
How many do I have?
All your cash and prizes.
Everything. Your twig and berries. Your meat.
You're
your
up
cake.
there on stage and
All in
everybody
bell.
sees it. Okay.
Okay.
Or
Or same situation, but you shit your pants and they see that.
in your white outfits. So split or shit. What would you rather?
Just like I hate that people say I have to take a number 1 or number 2, because I'm pretty sure when you take a number 2, you still always pee a little bit. So I call it a 3. So I'd take both. I'd take both.
Oh.
No one's gonna see my dick, and I'll shit my pants for fun.
All right, shit for Steven.
Okay.
And dick out. No one will see it. Fuck it.
God. Okay. Next.
I'll let you take a chair. I need a minute.
Okay, I'll take the split, and here's one of the examples of why it's great to be in the back on the drums, right? I'll take the split. Not gonna be a whole lot being seen there. My drum tech Eric, he might see a couple things, but you know. And then here's the thing, on Ozfest, it could definitely be a challenge to find a shower in time. So I would rather not have to deal with, you know, the excrement in a timely manner.
Sure.
I feel like the split would be over and done with, so I'll take the split.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Phil.
that's kind of where I was thinking again. They're given the situation, given Ozfest, given all that stuff, and I mean, yeah.
But dude,
We'll have to go.
Phil, fucking shit would kind of blend in a little bit more with your skin texture than a pasty white outfit.
True.
Not that you
don't-
look like
it's
shit,
obviously-
but I mean, I'm just saying your dick out would clash with the white. Your dick would clash with the white more than
It
like,
would.
just don't turn around. Just keep your ampeg right next to your ass.
Well, what's funny is like, so just like that. So that part of me never sees the sun. So that's actually still pretty white.
Fair enough. Gotcha.
Fair enough,
Gotcha.
fair enough. But you-
Well, not quite never, but rarely sees the sun.
Oh, not quite never.
Ooh.
Heyo.
Hey, oh, there we go.
I'm going.
Oh, we're
split.
doing this?
Yeah, why not? I'm going split. Nothing's coming out of my pants.
I definitely split.
You sure
I
about
split
that?
my pants once changing my tire. And I was like changing my tire and no one was helping me, which is fine because I know how to change a tire. But then like the last time I like squatted down, my pants just ripped. And like 2 cars pulled over, like, can we help you, miss? I was like, no, I got this.
Oh God.
Also,
Wait.
I'll add this to this conversation because I've actually thought about this. Like as guys, no one really cares that much. Even the biggest celebrities, like, you know, Brad Pitt's, you know, twig and berries has been caught on film and nobody cares. Like, you know, nobody cares. Yeah, you can find this online, but like certain people, like guys, no one really, it's not that big a deal, right? When girls, the tiniest little nip slip, all of a sudden it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's the biggest deal in the world. Like you might see somebody slightly, you know, Scarlett Johansson had a little, it's like, oh, it's a big deal. But the guys, no one
Losing
cares.
their minds. Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and like I wouldn't mind seeing if a girl shit her pants. I'd find that hilarious, but I'd love to see a split and then a slip.
Fair.
Nicely done, Steve. Nicely done.
Thank you,
Well,
sir.
Well, speaking of shit,
Yeah. Where can we find yours? Your social media. Where can our listeners find you? Should they be so inclined?
Facebook is probably the main one we use. I want to say facebook.com/Taproot Music probably.
Okay.
And then Instagram would be second, and we don't really use Twitter.
Right. Okay.
cool.
You
And
wanna
then
plug-
Steve's got his own. Yeah,
Side
Steve's got his
project?
own.
Wanna Talk about Westfall.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, real quick, Steve, what's your Instagram since you're on that a lot?
I'm on Instagram way more. It's just scissors the way it's on the screen probably, but it's SCISSRS, like the gay lesbian shit, which I love.
Don't.
That's like my license plate, but they don't have room for an I, so it's like, which is how I'm gonna talk in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find my little band Westfall on Instagram and Facebook and on all of the major streaming services. We have an EP called Rise that I played on, and it's good. And you can always check that out. Spotify, Apple Music, all the things.
And
Yeah, that
True
was on that
Rockstars?
was in my CD player for a long time, Jared. It's a good
Yeah,
disc.
it's a good
Oh,
one.
thanks.
It's more than good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then True Rockstars.
Yep, I do have a book that I wrote. It has a lot of the Taproot adventures in it. It's called True Rockstars, 12 Guiding Principles for Success and Happiness. And you can go to, I think it's still squareup.com/True Rockstars. But probably the easiest is just to Google True Rockstars book, and then you'll find the Square site where you can still buy it.
No,
There we
it's
go,
a
right
fuck-
here.
It's a fucking great. It's
There
a
you go.
great book. It's
Yeah.
a great book.
Really good
It's a,
book.
it's
I
a
I told
great.
Jared I just finally finished it this year after
Oh,
not
nice.
having read it for a long time. And I was like, I just got to take the time and
You
read
just
it.
learned
You know,
to
I,
do it.
well, it wasn't on Audible. You know, Jared hasn't done an Audible version of it yet. And that's usually what I've been doing. But I finally have some time to read now that my kid's past the age of, 5.
Right.
So yeah, great book, Jay. Yeah,
No.
I forgot we have
Thanks.
2 band members that are in 2 different bands. Between Taylor with Riding with Killers and Jared and Westfall.
Yeah.
Cool.
And technically Dave Coughlin with Sponge.
Oh, right. True. And well, I'm in Taproot and I'm banned from the Blind Pig.
Right.
And Throw.
Yeah.
And the
bro.
band Throw.
Not gonna do
So
it.
real quick, what shows are you guys, or I know Jackie's at least coming to a bunch, what shows are you going to be at?
Detroit or Flint, Lakewood, Columbus. I think that's it right now.
Okay.
Maybe more.
How many of the Flint ones? Just the
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be
right.
in Michigan.
Okay.
Coming to that show for
Yep.
sure.
Which
Maybe the-
one or ones of those?
Oh, the first night. Are you kidding
Friday.
me?
Okay.
Are you shitting
Nice.
my dick? As soon as they went on sale, I bought them immediately. I bought her ticket. I was like, I don't even know if you're going, but you're going.
Of course, fine. Yes.
Yeah.
We're
I-
excited. We can't wait.
Very excited.
I want to hear.
I'm
I want to hear what's the most recent thing with the Greener Grass podcast. So you guys are in season something. It's a pretty big number 4. That's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome, and you got a new
Appreciate that you think that's a
studio.
big number. Maybe not so
Cool.
much for Stephanie, but I appreciate that you think that's a big number.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
we're excited.
Thank
And
you.
so, and how many episodes are you usually trying to do a season, and what's your cadence here?
Well, we put one out every single Monday. We've never
Okay.
missed since our first episode.
Wow.
Awesome.
176,
Oh,
77?
this will be 177, I think.
177.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We don't
Thanks
have a
for
lot
the
of guests,
hookup.
so this was a
Yeah.
special one.
That's impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
thank
awesome.
you guys so
And
much.
it is literally just us. We do everything. We do all of our marketing, all of our social media, our promotional stuff, our editing, any sort of like engineering. That's all us.
Just
So
this.
It's just us. Just us.
No, it's fucking sweet.
I've probably watched maybe a dozen or 2, and I've always been entertained, and I definitely intend to watch more. So thank you. It's great to be here.
Appreciate it very much.
Yep.
Very much.
This was so fun. Thank you guys so much.
Ask Jared about when we were doing welcome, and there was like a statue with a small little
on,
little
Tell
water
us the story. We're listening.
small little water spout, and I made a joke about being able to hump it, and he just died laughing.
So where can you find that? Was that the extra footage at the end of the welcome DVD promo thing or something? Is that what that was?
I'm pretty sure you can find it on the making of Welcome 2. Obviously, Jesus Christ, why'd they let me do the video of that? It's dark as my work.
Yeah,
so
milk. Yeah.
So we were in Yonkers, and we were at this old abandoned, I think it was like a school, and it was kind of 2 stories, and it had all these classrooms. It was like a really wide, long building, and it was abandoned. So we did some videos in there. Actually, the cover of Welcome, where the door is kind of cracked, we saw that door with the slits in it, and we may or may not have broken the slits in that door to have the light come through better in a better way. And then we were just filming stuff all throughout that day. And then towards the end, there was this fountain at the end, and you had a little head, like a child's head, where, it had a little circle in its mouth where the water would have normally come out. And as Steve said something like, "Hey, can you guys give me a few minutes alone here?" And once it finally set in, I died laughing. It's very funny.
That mystery is, people have been asking about that for a while. Like, what is so funny at the end of this video? What is Jared laughing at?
Because they can't hear Jared say, "Did you hear what Steve said?" or Jared's haircut. That was great too.
Well, the bald
shape, the male pattern. Yeah. That's not getting them going. Let's get Jared going somehow. Oh,
you'll have plenty of time.
This is
gotta be organic.
Terrible. This is fucking terrible. I have to do it. It's a new one for me, and it's so disrespectful, but it's funny. What did the paralyzed, blind, and deaf person get for Christmas?
What?
Cancer.
Oh, jeez.
Jared didn't like that one. Hey, I don't either. Buddy.
That's it. That's a unique sense of humor there, Steve.
That's
what the fuck? Same sense of humor. That I heard that. I didn't come up with it.
I didn't make it up.
That's a dark one, dude. That's a dark one. I
Jared knows my first joke ever. It's "What's up with bees?"
What's up with bees?
What's up with bees?
And why, of everything in the world that has wings and fly, why did flies get the title fly?
That's fair.
Good question.
That is a good question.
Pisses me off.
Here's my favorite joke ever, and it's a little controversial. Do you know what it is, Steve?
Hopefully, when you start talking 3 words, I catch up.
What's the difference between Neil Armstrong and Michael Jackson?
Oh God.
What?
Do you know this one, Jackie?
No.
Neil Armstrong walked on the moon, and Michael Jackson shared a bed with little boys.
Oh my God! I was gonna say Michael Jackson actually moonwalked.
Yes, that's the expectation.
Okay, so we're telling inappropriate jokes, right? Okay. What's the difference between jam and jelly?
Can't jam my dick in your hands.
Or down your throat.
Or whatever it was, yeah.
I can't jelly a dick down my throat.
Okay, jelly my dick, yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, whatever.
God,
something like that. Yeah, I said the wrong thing, but yeah, you know what I meant.
I thought you guys were going back to the band.
I can't jelly. That's what it was. I can't jelly. That's right.
Green Jelly, the old band.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
We appreciate it.
This was so much fun for us.
Thank you.
Try not to fangirl out too much.
Yeah.
I think we did good.
We'll
be together.
We'll be screaming when we hit stop.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for however, I don't get how this shit works when you do it, but like, I see you guys big right now, and occasionally I'll see Jared big right now, and I'll see Phil big right now.
That's just because we talked dirty to him first.
Well, no, but like on the screen, and not once have I seen my fugly face big, so thank you, God.
Oh, whenever you talk, you're actually big on their screen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And that's why, but it's your own screen, so that's why you never get big.
No, it's all good.
I'll just put.
That's not the only reason.
It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be awesome. So.
Yep. No.
I love your faces, all 3 of you.
We love
all
you.
4 of you.
Oh, you too. You're beautiful.
Aw, kiss. Sorry.
Talk about those 4 fingers
Why
again.
could I have been born rich instead of beautiful?
Sorry.
True. Show me your gun again. God damn it.
Oh,
I spilled some.
I can do I got some shoulders going here.
All right, Phil, your turn.
Yeah, I listened to one of your podcasts.
Muscle.
I listened to one of your podcasts. It was it the one about like lifts or cardio or something like that? I forget what the actual. Yeah, that's one I listened to.
Okay.
Found it interesting.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun.
My gym is just on the other side of this.
Yeah.
Ah, behind the curtain. Nice.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, we love you. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
And we'll see you on the
too.
road.
All right, you guys too.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah,
Good
I like
night.
you. Thank you so much. All right, bye.
Bye.
We gotta go too.
Bye.
Bye.
No, good to see you guys. See you soon.
See ya.
I love
Bye.
you guys. Thank you so
Love
much.
you too. Bye.
Bye. hon.
That was so much fun.
So much fun.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this special
Yeah,
episode. It was awesome.
And thank you, Taproot, for being on our show.
I still can't believe it happened.
You guys are so awesome. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah.
But this episode would not be possible without the loving support of our Patreon. So who do we have?
We have Chrissy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hey, girl.
Hex. What up? We have Andy.
Mm-hmm.
We have Vin.
Yes.
And we have Teach a Dummy podcast.
That's right. We also have a very special business sponsor. So big shout out to Nathan Collins up in Mansfield. If you need a new ride, just cruise on up to 4th in Mansfield. It's Spitzer Motors. And you can give him a call for all of the deals and everything. Get the inventory, everything you need at 419-961-4581.
Yeah. And if you would like to be a business sponsor, check out our show notes for the details.
Absolutely. Special shout out to the Off the Tongue Podcast Network, our brothers that are really helping us keep this podcast train moving.
Yeah. That's the Average AF podcast, Teach a Dummy podcast, Skate Mansfield podcast, and the Greener Grass
The
podcast.
Thegreenergrass podcast. Yes. Thank you all who stopped by to check out this episode. If you came here just because of Taproot, welcome.
Welcome.
And we hope you stick around.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. And stay tuned every Monday for a new episode. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
This is an Off the Tongue podcast.